Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 17 of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the beginning, and enjoy that guys. And I also post a new series of What If Naruto was an OP Steel Master, so go ahead and check out that as well guys. And later on I'm going to be posting What If Naruto was a godly mage, so stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, Sasuke went down to face off against Gaara. But, seeing his opportunity, Orochimaru was not going to let it waste. As right now Naruto was tired after his battle. Well, that is what he thought, as he didn't want Naruto to regain his full strength. So, he gave the signal, but the explosion didn't went off until a while, as they had to go up the third backup plan, the seal that was deep in the forest. Seeing that Jiraiya and the other envoys are currently erasing all of the Soul Ninjas that were currently around the wall. So they went the third backup plan. As the Kage's boot was filled with smoke, the Zone 4 came out and put around the barrier, trapping the Hokage inside along with Orochimaru. As the battle started for Konoha, as he went to check up on Yujiro, but she told him that she was alright, go ahead and protect the village. As Naruto created many clones that helped the civilians head it out. As Naruto went up towards the barrier, Orochimaru had a smile on his face as he kept on taunting Naruto about not killing Yujiro. But Naruto flashed inside along with a clone, surprising everyone as he flashed out the old man with the clone. The next thing Orochimaru knew, his head was separated from his neck as his body was slammed with a Rasengan, but he released a snake out of his mouth before Naruto destroyed as Orochimaru came out of the snake. The Raikage, the Mizukage, all of them were shocked beyond belief when they saw the yellow flash as he appeared. As they put two and two together, seeing his hair, his eyes, there was only one man that could do that jutsu. Yes, he was the son of Minato Namikaze, as Sarutobi was beyond shock for himself. As the others started to come up there, Yujiro, along with Kakashi. As Kakashi and the others were shocked when they realized Naruto was inside fighting, as Naruto created 4 clones that came outside already, as they prepare a barrier. Having enough, Naruto entered 4 tails as his skin started to peel off. He had tinkered with the seal a bit, so more charcoal would be drawn upon by the fox, but he still didn't have the key. As Naruto flashed off against Orochimaru, the battle was furious, as he ripped Orochimaru a couple of times before Orochimaru regurgitated out of his mouth once more, coming back new. But it began to take a toll on Orochimaru's body, as Naruto then formed a Bichu bomb and fired it. A massive explosion rocked the place as Orochimaru made the Zone 4 release the barrier after the explosion, which he managed to use the gates to survive. But his body was still in a terrible condition. As they started to flee, Naruto burst through his own barrier, heading off as well. The others were still confused, looking inside. As Naruto dashed after Orochimaru, trying his best, moving, jumping from building to building. Teiwala Totodokis at him, but he destroyed them. As Naruto jumped towards Orochimaru with his blades, ready to stab right through him, but bones erupted everywhere. As Naruto was pierced with a couple of them, as he collapsed to the ground, as Orochimaru started to flee. As Kimimaro stepped up, Naruto could only see red. As Orochimaru got away, Kabuto arrived and summoned a snake that swallowed Orochimaru and himself in the Zone 4 as it went underground. Kimimaro started to talk, but the next thing he knew, Naruto was right in front of him. He hardened his bones, but he wasn't ready for the impact as Naruto's Sage mode came in his body after the clone dispelled a distance away. As Naruto smashed right into him, he could feel the force. Naruto wasted no time as he ripped off Kimimara's arm. Kimimara entered a second stage of a curse mark, but he stood no chance as Naruto had a plus in his eye. Along with his Sage mode combined with the fox, he was moving like a wild animal, fast, precise. As he ripped off Kimimara's next arm and started to stab him, he pinned Kimimara down to the ground and started to squash his face with his fists. As Naruto got up and stomped in Kimimara's face repeatedly until nothing was left but a bloody mess. The sound team started to retreat as they came to a very brief stop when they saw Naruto standing there as he had both blades in his arm. After sensing his chakra, the group finally arrived as they heard something hitting. When they came upon the horrified sight, they saw hundreds of sound ninjas. Their bodies were literally chopped into pieces, arms, legs, head missing, as Naruto was still there pounding in a sound ninja's face even though the man was dead. As Yu-Gi-Oh quickly rushed over and hugged him in a tight hug to get him to calm down. His body finally relaxing, the fatigue and the tiredness overwhelmed him as he passed out. We then skipped to Orochimaru, who was furious after some time as he finally made it back. Kimimaro did not come back. He never knew that the boy was this powerful. He seemed to have underestimated the boy big, and now 2 times the boy has cost him. The old man is not dead, and he did not plant his mark on the Uchiha, but now he was going to make Naruto life a living hell by placing him in the book. So yeah guys, that was basically the last point left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. Naruto was currently lying down on the grass, looking up at the sky in his mindscape, as he heard the giant footsteps coming towards him. As he turned his head to see Kurama, Kurama finally came as he went down, placing his head on his paw so he can be on nearly eye level with Naruto. So Naruto said, "How long have I been out?" "About a day to be exact," said Kurama. "I can tell there are many people currently outside." "Are you ready to face them?" Kurama asked. "You will be waking up soon." "I guess I have to," said Naruto. "Well, after a stunt you pull, you have to tell them something." "Are you gonna tell them the truth?" Kurama asked. "Nah, can't do that. I remember Death specifically telling me not to tell anyone about this. Well, that I got, well, a second chance. I already planned on telling them a part of the truth. Well, not about death or anything like that, but what I found in that room." "You mean all those scrolls? And your father's technique?" asked Kurama. "Yeah," said Naruto. "Can't lie too much. They will find it very suspicious if I say I don't know how I got it." "Yeah, I suppose that would be dumb," said Kurama. "Well, get ready, because you're waking up. And good luck." "Thanks, all needed," said Naruto. Meanwhile in the room, we currently have Yu-Gi-Oh, Anko, Kakashi, Sarutobi, and Jiraiya. As Naruto was in one of the rather larger hospital rooms. He was lying in bed currently wearing his Uzumaki black shirt with the swirl in the center and his black pants. He was completely fine after doctors checked over him. Well, he was not really harmed from the battle. His body was just exhausted, but they kept him here just to be safe. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh insisted on it. So yeah, he's here right now. As she was sitting right at his bed, she wanted him to wake up. He has a lot of explaining to do, and he has a lot of punishment to receive for being so stupid, she thought to herself. After what he put himself through, trapping himself in that barrier with one of Konoha's famous missing mates, Orochimaru. What was he thinking even though he was able to hold off Orochimaru? What if something bad had happened? What if he had died? A dreadful thought then came to her mind. She was scared. She hadn't told him who his father was. Yes, he's been living with her now. She's been at his house, sleeping there. And she knew all along and never told him. Uncle still was surprised that the kid father was the 4th Hokage. Now she can see where he gets his good looks from, and why he's so handsome. But she was also surprised at first. But after looking into the facts, the hair, the eyes, And after Naruto showed those jutsus, there was no telling. Currently in the room on a nightstand, there was a lot of gift baskets, and I mean a lot of them. Naruto started to stir in his bed, making all conversation stop. Seems like he's waking up, said Sarutobi, as all of them turned their attention towards him. As Naruto slowly opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was the ceiling, the white ceiling, knowing that he was in the hospital room. But his body felt fine. It has been an entire day of resting, so yeah, he should be good. But he knows that he has a lot of explaining to do, and judging from all the eyes staring at him, he could feel them. As Naruto turned his head down, so, I guess I have some explaining to do. Yes, you do, said Yujiro, as he turned towards her. He didn't know why, but she had a really, apologetic sad look on her face. He should be the one here, explaining, for not telling them what is going on. But she seemed rather sad, but he's totally fine. Before we begin, is everyone okay? Naruto asks. Your clones did their job, said Kakashi. It seems like you are a real hero. As you can see, as he pointed towards all of the gift baskets. As Naruto remembers sending a platoon of his clones towards the academy. Hundreds of kids' lives were saved yesterday because of what you did, said Sarutobi. As he cursed to himself for not thinking about that. If you want to destroy a village system, the best way is to destroy the younger generations. So the system will crumble and there won't be any future ninjas. Yeah, I guess that's what would happen, said Naruto, like he was reading Sarutobi's mind. I was surprised though, they sent a larger team there. A larger team than any of the Chunins could handle. But my clones were able to dispatch them and get the kids to safety. Well, that is over and done with now. Can you tell us what the hell happened, said Jiraiya. What do you guys want to know first, Naruto asks. The Hirishin, said Uncle. And your father. As she got straight to the point. I had no idea that Minato was your father. And judging that everyone in this room, no, except for you and me, I would like to find out how you know as well. And why did you keep it a secret and didn't even tell me? One of your closest friends, she said. Well, I want to show you all, said Naruto. What do you mean, said Sarutobi. I'm not angry, Naruto said. As he looked at Yujiro. Trust me, I'm not. I understand why you all had to keep it a secret from me. Even you, Kakashi. My father was your teacher after all. And what would you think if you let his only son got attacked on a random mission by ninjas who had a grudge for him? And I understand as well, Erasanin. And I'm not going to be able to spoil brat and tell you, why weren't you there for me? And why couldn't you protect me and all that? I know you had your spy network. And you had to be up there gathering intel to protect Konoha. So trust me, I do understand. Naruto then pulled up himself. Careful, said Yujiro. As Naruto smiled at her. Don't worry, I heal fast, he said. But you already know that. As he leaned up against the bed frame. I wanted to show you guys that I could handle myself against any threat that might come. As you all are well aware of, Yujito is not an ordinary genin. Yes, I could tell that, said Kakashi. Yeah, it seems like Kumo wanted to show the people of Konoha and also the daimyos that they are strong. She was at least Jonin level. And yet you were able to beat her, said Uncle. How exactly strong are you? Before you answer that, said Sarutobi, I would like to know the ability that you show. If I'm not mistaken, that's a Kekkei Todai. And you're not wrong, said Naruto, as gas could be heard in the room. As Kakashi knew that he wasn't mistaken as well. The Kekkei Todai? As Uncle scratched the back of her head. I've heard that name before. Oh yeah, in a scroll. Can one of you guys explain what it is again? It's a combination of three natures branched together to create a more advanced level of jutsu. There's only one person I knew that could produce something like that, and that's the current Hishikage, mixing his elements of earth, wind, and fire In the war, he was able to produce a particle, something that was on a different scale, able to incinerate things around him with just a touch. Yeah, said Naruto. I call mine Storm Release. I'm able to combine wind, lightning, and fire together and release it on different scales and also mix it with jutsus. What, said Sarutobi? I thought that you were just able to release it in a wide burst. Are you able to combine it and blend it to jutsus as well? Yeah, said Naruto. But I wanted to kill that bastard so much. As Naruto clenched his fists, I knew you must be angry at that, old man, for me taking your place. But as a Konoha ninja, I would gladly any day risk my life to protect yours. And I want to spare you the hardship of going up against him. If I could just do that one thing and killed him, then all of this would have been over. But he just kept on shedding his skin over and over again. Naruto, calm down, said Yujiro. I knew that you would do something as reckless as this, because of what happened to me. And yet again a sad look appeared on her face. It's more than that, said Naruto. You know I would do anything for you to protect you on any means necessary, even if it means giving up my life. After all you have done for me, there is not even a chance to say I wouldn't. But I know the old man as well. I'm sorry for taking your place. But if it mean I could have ended that right there and caused you the pain of going up against your former student, and even cause you, Perfect Sage, the pain as well of facing off against him, I would gladly take it in time to protect each and any one of you. But it wasn't enough, Naruto says. He clenched his fists. Sarutobi sighed as he walked over and placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. While I'm upset that you risked your life in a dangerous situation like that, I must commend you for your bravery. Because yesterday was the brightest I've seen the will of fire burn in someone to fighting so hard to protect your home. And it's because of you and your clones the casualty was so low. And for that, and protecting the students, saving all of them, we owe a great deal of thanks to you. Because you spare the future of Konoha with your quick thinking. Because I doubt that Iruka and the other Chujins could have held off against a large band of ninjas that they sent to the academy. So you shouldn't be sad. You should be proud of your accomplishment and what you have done. Because you saved the future of the Will of Fire, said Sarutobi, as he gave Naruto a smile. Wait a minute, said Anko, breaking the moment that they had. I want to know, but how did you know that the fourth Hokage was your father, she asked. Well, it seems that there was a seal in the basement, said Naruto. Sarutobi narrowed his eyes. Don't worry, old man, said Naruto. Even a seal master wouldn't have seen it. It was specially designed for me. Only my blood was able to open it. A four-corner seal in the room that was so small. I didn't even know how my father managed to write that in. And when did this happen? Asked Jiraiya. A month ago, said Naruto. Everyone's eyes went wide. So, you're telling me you managed to completely master the Hiraishin in 1 month, said Kakashi. Everything that we've heard today is been a complete shock. But he never knew that Naruto was, well, a prodigy to this level. Not only did the kid possess a Kekkei Todai, the kid mastered the Hiraishin, able to perform the Rasengan in seconds. As he looked at Naruto with a shocked expression on his face, Minato would be proud, he thought to himself. But there's something I'm not getting, said Jiraiya. What happened to the seal, he asked. I checked it while you were sleeping, and I can see that it has been tweaked a bit. Oh, I did that, said Naruto. Naruto, do you know how dangerous it is, said Sarutobi. Old man, I understand that you're concerned. But you have no need to be worried, said Naruto. I know what I'm doing. And I only tweaked it a bit so I would be able to get more of the Nine Tails power out. If I didn't tweak it, I wouldn't be able to go at least the fourth tail into the second stage of the Biju form. And I wouldn't even stand a chance against Orochimaru then. But the bastard still kept on getting up, no matter how many times I ripped him apart. He is a slippery bastard indeed, said Anko. So wait, kid, what did you find, said Jiraiya. Well, a room, said Naruto, that belonged to my father. all type of scrolls, and his trademark hydrogen scroll in the center. So that's where he put it, said Sarutobi. I wondered what happened after that dreadful night, and I couldn't find anything. There was only documents left behind in the safe, and I wonder what happened to his scroll. It seems like he kept it, just in case, in a perfect place for someone like you to find. Yeah, seems like my dad, even in death, is still looking after me, said Naruto. And he would be proud, said Jiraiya. After all that you have done for this village, you're just like him, ready to do what it takes to make sure that everyone is okay. And given how the news spread right now, the moment you step outside this hospital, there's gonna be a crowd waiting for you. Sarutobi rubbed the back of his head. I guess I have to go and announce it to everyone. There is still talks around there, most of them still not believing if this is true or not. I guess I have to call an entire village, meet up. And you're also going to be called to the council room, Naruto. The elders, all of the clan heads, are going to want to see you. And not to mention there's going to be a large duty right now for you to, well, work to. As Naruto looked at him, well, given that your heritage has now been revealed, your mother was once part of a prestige clan. The Uzumaki clan after all, it's your last name. And now with these shocking events of you having the Keke Todai, well, let's just say, it's gonna be a long council meeting. As Sarutobi sighed, I'm getting too old for this. Jiraiya, you wouldn't mind taking the Hokage's title off my hand right now and becoming Hokage, he said. Huh, when you're so deep in shit, said Jiraiya. Are you crazy? Well, if you don't mind, I'll take it, Naruto said. As much as I would like to give you the title, Naruto, you still have to get promoted. You already are shot-in for Chunin. If it was up to me, I would already promote you to Jonin. But you have to do the mission requirements. And there's a lot more things that you have to do now. When this news finally spread all over the entire elemental nations, you'll be meeting with a lot of important people. Your father was a very influential person, and he has known many persons in his time of being Hokage. And now that they have found out that he has an ear, I am sure that all of them will be running to Konoha now to come and meet you. And not to mention, wait, Naruto, have you find out who your mother is yet? Yeah, said Naruto. Kushina Uzumaki, he said. Well then, now that you know that, you know about the prestigious Uzumaki clan. Your father never produced any bloodline, so for you to have this Keke Todai is quite rare. So prepare yourself for this upcoming meeting. Wait, don't tell me, said Jiraiya. Yes, I believe so. They would want him to restore back the Uzumaki clan. But Naruto, for now, I want you to stay here. I will announce to the village and finally end the rumors by revealing your true heritage. So why don't you stay here and rest until everything is over? As Naruto nodded, sure thing, old man, he said. And with that, Sarutobi left the room. Hey guys, Naruto said, mind if I talk to you, Jiro, for a moment? All of them looked at him, but they simply nodded as they headed off. We need to have a talk, kid, when you're done, said Jiraiya, as he headed off as well. As Yujiro had been relatively silent through all of this. What's wrong, Naruto said as he looked at the door. As he then turned towards her. Are you really okay with this, she asked. I don't want you to be hiding your true feelings and be angry underneath. So if you're angry, go ahead. Shout at me. Curse at me for not telling you who your parents were. I've lived with you for this entire time and never told you anything. So if you're hiding your true feelings, go ahead and let it go right now. Because I don't want there to be any bad blood between us. Any resentment or hatred. Naruto got off the bed. So you want me to shout at you, huh? Yes, let it go right now, she said. As Naruto placed a hand on her head, she was still in the chair. Hey, look at me, he said. Come on. Do you really think I'll do anything? I mean, given after what you've done for me, it doesn't matter if you did this for your own selfish reasons. And I know you didn't. You did it to protect me. And that's what you're always doing, protecting me. And that just made me love you even more, Naruto said. And don't worry, I don't have any single ounce of resentment in my heart for you. It's nothing but love. Really? She said. As Naruto simply chuckled. Stop acting this way, come on. Aren't you supposed to be a little pissed that I went off into a dangerous battle? As a small scowl came on her face. You just broke the moment, you little brat, she said. No, that's more like it, said Naruto. As he looked over the room. Huh. It seems like I've got a lot of baskets. Yujiro walked over. Oh, this is nothing. We had to have some tunings and some genins. Bring all of it towards your compound. It's a lot of it. And I mean a lot, she said. The parents are really grateful. The ninjas, the civilians in general, for what you did in the invasion. Uncle thought that you deserved the proper respect, so she kinda went around telling everyone about what happened. Well, about you running Orochimaru out of the village. And killing all of the Sound Ninjas to protect your home and protect the civilians. And saving all the kids. So everyone now know what truly happens. So yeah, they've been coming in like non-stops. Since the day started, she said. And I'm glad, she said. Even though I know there's still some out there who are still angry and resentful because you have the fox inside of you. At least, most of them are starting to warm up to you. That's all I've ever wanted in the first place. Yeah, me too, he said. So, what about the other ninjas? Have they left yet? Well, no. The Mitsukage along the Raikage is still here, along with the Sand Ninjas. It's just been a day, you know that? That's good, said Naruto. As she saw a smile came on his face. Hey, what's the smile? Oh, I've just made friends with them, so I would hate to not say goodbye to them. Hey, where are you going, she said. Sarutobi told you to stay here and rest, until you finish with telling everyone about your true heritage. Wait, where are my blades? Naruto asked. Oh, I brought them home, she said. Oh, thank God. I thought I left them out there. Who knows, they could have probably been stolen. Don't change the subject, she said. Where are you going? Oh, you see, I have a lot of things to do. Don't worry, I'm perfectly fine, and you know that, by the way. See you later for dinner, he said. As she was about to say something, but he flashed away. As she clenched her fist, realizing how inconvenient that jutsu is going to be. He can literally leave any conversation that he wants at any time. Naruto flashed towards his house, right beside his blades. She's gonna be pissed about that one, he said. As he wondered how things have changed now. And he was also wondering about something when it comes to this, well, recreating your clan. But he'll have to talk about that later in the meeting, the council meeting. The council he's gonna soon be a part of, as the Uzumaki clan head. With his father's name and his status behind him, as a son of the Yellow Flash. Things are truly changing and looking up now. But he's still angry despite everything. He did not manage to kill that snake bastard. If it wasn't for Kimimaro or them retreating, he could have ended that snake's life. But at least he took out Kimimaro, and a handful, well, a large handful, of those Sound Ninjas. The next time, Orochimaru will be the one on the ground dying. But for right now, he has an engagement to go to. Moments later, Yujiro was looking, as the village was going on the reconstruction. The Raikage still have a talk to do with the third Hokage, so that is why they are still here. She went by the hospital to visit Naruto, but she was too scared to go in there. The reason being there was his friends and close people to him here, and also the Hokage. So she was just going to wait until he came out of the hospital, where she can see him. Aw, come on, kitten. You just want to give him that 1 minute, don't you? What are you talking about, Nibe? I mean, he did won the test that the both of you set. He did defeat you, while I'm astonished at that he even managed to take you, well, and me, in our true form. He did won, showing you how fine of a man he is, and also strong. And you saw his battle against that snake Orochimaru, right? You saw how powerful he is. Come on, wouldn't you like him to push you down on a bed and even tie you up, and just take what he wants? Maybe, said Yujito, as her face was extremely red. I don't want anything of the sorts. So why is your heart beating so fast? And why is your body shaking? Asked Nibe. And not to mention, he's the son of the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. To think he was that famous. To think Yujito and Naruto Uzumaki, the perfect fighting couple. What do you say about that? Or, you can just be sex friends and go at it like wild animals. You two are Jinchurikis after all. You heal faster than any normal human. So, it will be convenient for the both of you to go crazy and even have sex interests. You know, you're becoming a real pervert, said Yujito. What? I'm just stating the facts. The facts that you won't admit, said Nibi. So aren't you going to find him? He's probably still at the hospital. And I'm not just gonna go barging there like that. What am I gonna even say to any of them there? Well, I guess you don't have to. Because look. As Yujito turned, as she saw his smile, as she couldn't help but smile as well, as a pink tint came to her cheeks. Just seeing him smiling that way, it made her blush, as she didn't even know why. She quickly concealed her blush. Oh, hello there, said Naruto. So, looking for me, he asked. What? Of course not, she said. I was just checking out the village. Oh, really now? And what exactly were you checking out in the village, he asked. I am a foreign ninja after all. I'm checking out the new sites. And where have you been, he asked. Oh, here and there, she said. Oh, come on, Naruto said. Why would you lie to me like that? I mean, I wouldn't be lying if I told you I was looking for you as well. I mean, you do have something for me, right? What? What do I have for you, she asked, as he stepped really close, uncomfortably close, but she didn't mind one bit. As he started using his fingers to crawl up her arm. Come on. As he went towards her ear. Are you gonna make me say it out loud, he asked. The next thing she knew, there was a sudden jolt. When she blinked again, she was in front of a house. What just happened, she said. Oh, I teleported, said Naruto. Welcome to my house, he said. You haven't been here before. I figured I'd give you the grand entrance. Yuji was currently out right now. And Hayate wasn't here. And Uncle wasn't here either. So yeah, this would be wonderful. This is your house, she said. As she was quite surprised. This is like a compound, she said. Yeah, you can call it that, said Naruto. Being the son of Minato Namikaze has its perks. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Oh really now? You almost forgot about the most important news that happened yesterday, about my heritage being revealed. I'm sure not even your Kage forgot about that. Oh well, you're just not that important, she said. Oh, I'm not? His arms enwrapped around her waist, making her squeak a bit. Well, I guess I'm important enough to make you squeak, he said. As he held out his hand. Are you coming? She reached out and held his hand, as her body was just compelling her to go with him. As he started to show her around the compound, she had to admit the place was beautiful, well created, and the tiling, everything about it was just ecstatic. And this was basically a mansion, so many rooms inside. As he brought her inside, as she slipped off her shoes and went in with him, as she was currently sitting on the couch. So, want something to drink, he asked. Not really, she said. Stop lying, said Naruto. You don't have to be so formal, you know that. I mean, we've been through a lot. We even helped each other in an invasion. Huh. Last thing I remember was you taking on everything for yourself. Even going up against a legendary missing nin, Orochimaru. A S-rank missing nin. You know that was quite stupid of you. You could have gotten yourself killed. That's what people kept on telling me, Naruto said. Because they're right. You know you could have gotten hurt. Aw, I never knew that you were that concerned about me, he said to her. Who told you I was, she said. Well, judging from your tone. As he came closer, he then sat down as he handed her a glass of orange juice. She looked at it and looked back at him. Oh, come on. After all this time, do you really think I'll poison you, he said. You know what? As he drank some of the orange juice, he then moved right in the chair right beside her, before pulling her right in his arms. As she didn't have time to do or say anything, before he planted a kiss on her lips, as she could feel the cold liquid slipping down her throat, as she then felt his tongue hitting against her teeth, as she opened her mouth fully, to allow his tongue inside to start to dance around her mouth, as she couldn't help but allow her tongue to kiss back his, as the both of their tongues started battling each other's mouth, making her face become rather hot and red until his hands started to move around her body. But at the last second he pulled back, teasing her. She went after him a bit, but she stopped herself. Oh, So you want it as much, said Naruto. Of course I don't, she said. You just caught me off guard there. But tell me, didn't you enjoy it? As he placed a hand on her leg. I do believe that we have an agreement. Fine, she said. 1 minute and no more. Do what you want. Oh, about that, Naruto said. I was just testing you. I'm not going to do anything, he said. For a split second there, he saw a frown on her face. As a smile came on his face, exactly what I was looking for. I thought you wouldn't have cared, but it seems you do. I don't, she said. Stop lying, kitten. You want this. More than anything right now. So stop acting this way and take the advantage. Before the opportunity passes you. As she looked at him, as he looked back at her, he extended his arm to her. As she took it. Where are we going? Oh, we haven't visited my bedroom yet, he said to her. As she saw a sly smile came on his face. Her body was not stopping her from going in there. As Naruto opened the door and the both of them went inside. As she looked around, his bed had beautiful red sheets over it. And it was a rather large bed to fit at least 5 people. Huh. How many persons live in here, she said. Oh, just me alone. And it's quite boring, he said. She then heard a lock as he locked the door behind him. He then went through a set of hand signs before placing his hand on the wall. The entire room lighted up with a seal, before it dropped. Those were silencing seals if I'm not mistaken. Why did you put them up? Well, I do have 1 minute to do as I please. Oh come on, just because I'm a ninja from a different village, you don't have to be worried about me. And that's how people get themselves killed, she said. By trusting other people. So after all of this time, you really don't trust me, said Naruto. As he was talking, he was casually lifting up his shirt, as he took it off and placed it down in the chair. She couldn't help but blush, as she saw his well-toned body. For someone so young, as she could see, the formation of a six-pack already there, and then printing through, tightly wrapped muscles all over his body. That made her feel like she wanted to just hop on him right now. She then felt a burst of urges just whelm through her body. Something was too much about this. Nibi, are you responsible for this? I'm just giving you a little push, kitten. Because if you don't seize this opportunity, you're gonna regret it. What are you doing to me, she asked. Oh, I'm just messing with your nerves a bit. Oh, it's not anything bad. It's just gonna make you feel more pleasure. As Naruto saw Yujito quiver. Hey, what's wrong, he asked. Nothing, I'm fine. As he noticed her panting a bit harder than before, and a hungry look came in her eye. I can't take this anymore, she said. Like a wild animal, she hopped on him, pushing him to the bed, as she started to attack his face furiously with kisses. The both of them tongues danced together, as she started to feel his arms roaming around her body. Whatever Nibi was doing to her, it was making her body feel ecstatic. One single touch from him made her feel like lightning went down her spine. Her body was quivering with pleasure already. Naruto flipped her over and pinned her down to the bed. So, as he held onto her 2 arms with his own, I have my 1 minute to do whatever I please. It was then that he started to kiss her neck. As she released a moan of excitement as he started kissing even more. He just did that for the entire minute, just to spite her, as he was holding on to her hands, and to her surprise she couldn't even move, because he was strong, not that she wanted to do. He then released her hands, as he looked over the clock. It seems like the 1 minute is up, he said. A shame. It seems like I won't get to... But he couldn't get to finish that sentence as he was pulled back down to the bed, as her arms wrapped around his head. Oh, it seems like you do want to continue, he asked. You don't have a time limit, she said. You can do whatever you please. Oh, is that so, he said. Tell me what you want me to do. What, she said. I asked you, what do you want me to do? As his hand started to trail up her stomach, going up to her chest. Do you want me to pin you down and dominate you? Do you want me to make you feel the best, sexual feeling that you've ever felt in your life before? As Yujito couldn't help it, her mind was going in overdrive. Do it. Do it, she said. As you wish, my dear. As he started to kiss her more. As her hand reached down and pulled off her shirt, she quickly unclipped her bra as his face went down to her chest. Meanwhile that was going on, Temari was on a different side of the village as she was watching the reconstruction. Huh, you haven't found him yet, said Konkru. As Konkru walked over. No, I haven't, she said. Why didn't you just go to the hospital, asked Konkru. There was too many people there. And not to mention, Temari clenched her fist as she remembered what happened. Flashback. It had been a couple of hours since everything. As Temari went to go and visit Naruto to the hospital, as she was currently in the waiting room. There was many people inside of Naruto's room, so she couldn't go in there right now. She was sitting down and she noticed many people came to sit down as well. She didn't pay them any mind at first, until she looked to her left. And then to her right, she noticed these were the girls that are around the Chunin exams. Tenten was there, along with Ren, the Fire Daimyo's daughter, along with Haku. It now clicked to Temari, as she had seen that Yujito girl that faced off against Naruto was leaving when she came here, so she also came here to visit him. She cleared her throat. Are you guys here to see Naruto, she asked. Oh yes, said Ren. He's a very close friend of mine. Do you know him as well? Yes. He's a close friend of mine, I just want to see that he's okay. Well, Naruto is a friend of mine as well, said Tenten. He has been for a long time now. Well, I met him on his mission to the Hidden Wave, and we became friends ever since, said Haku. And I just want to know that he's okay. It was then that Jerry came out of the room. Are you guys here to see the kid? He asked, with a luscious grin on his face. Is he alright, Jiraiya-sama? Asked Tenten. Oh, he's just fine. He is just resting now. But I think he will be awake in a couple of hours. You guys can visit then, said Jiraiya. Oh, thank you for your help, said Tenten. Can you tell him I stopped by? Me too, said Haku. Me too, said Temari. Me too, said Ren. As all of them left in separate directions. Jiraiya couldn't help but cry, as tears are literally pooling down from his face. As Kakashi came, Jiraiya-sama, he asked, what's the problem? This kid, I can't believe it. He's something else. What do you mean? What's going on? Asked Kakashi. As Jiraiya pointed all the girls leaving. As Kakashi just released a giggle. It seems like Naruto has become quite popular with the ladies. Indeed he has. Quite popular indeed, said Jiraiya. He's just like his old man. But it seems like the kid is really pushing things to the limit, while Minato focused on Kushina alone. This kid is taking every advantage that he can. Well, do you want to know what one of his goals is? Asked Kakashi. What do you mean? Well, he told me that one of his goals is to sleep with the most girls as possible in this world. Jiraiya collapsed down to his knees. Jiraiya-sama, said Kakashi. As Jiraiya started to cry even more, on the ground. This kid was truly his apprentice. He was truly gonna be his student after all. End of the flashback. As Temari had an angry look on her face, as she wondered what is Naruto's relationship with those other girls, and where was he right now. She made up her mind, she made her decision, she knew what she wanted, but she could not see him. Time skip, as we go back to the compound. Inside of Naruto's room was a wreck. Things were sprawled out all over the floor. The entire sheet was all over the floor. As Naruto was lying on the bed, his chest lying down, there was a lot of scratches on his back from Yujito's fingernails. When they were going at it, her fingernails extended, and she was enjoying the pleasure a lot. As she was on the floor, panting as hard as possible, as she couldn't believe what they just went through. No, that's what I call roughhousing it, kitten, said Nibe. As Yujito couldn't believe it. He was like a animal. But the both of them were, but he was just different. So manly and strong. He did things and made her feel things that she never thought that she would experience in her life. Her body was still quivering after what just happened. As she was completely naked on the ground, but she couldn't move. As she felt like she went into a sex coma a minute ago. Her body felt dead completely. But it was still bursting with pleasure. She couldn't even get up. It seems like the kitten does have claws, said Naruto, as he looked over his side of the bed. Oh, Sorry about that. But it was too good, Naruto said, continuing for her. Don't worry. Besides, I like it rough, he said, as he picked her up and placed her on the bed. As she plopped down. How do you know to do those things? And that thing with your tongue, she said. Let me guess. This is not your first time. Well, you wouldn't have felt so much pleasure if it was, he said. Well, on the contrary, he thought this was his first time in this body. So yeah. But when it comes to his other life, he was like a master at this thing. Aren't you tired, she asked. We did it 4 times back to back. I mean, aren't you supposed to be sore or something? Because I'm definitely sore right now. I don't even think that I can walk. Seems like I have a lot more stamina, he said, as he pulled her on top of him. She giggled a bit. What now, want to go again, she said. But I can't, she said. That was just too intense. You have to let me rest. Oh, I'm just giving you a comfortable position to rest, he said. Just lay your head here. As she placed her head on his chest, hearing his heartbeat. I am glad that they decided to go along with your advice. And go along with it. Because I've never felt anything like this before. I guess you are right. I owe you for this one. Oh, don't worry, Naruto said. Besides, it's not like this will be the last time. But I'm going back to my village soon. And unless my Kage and your Kage come to some agreement, we won't be able to see each other unless I'm out on a mission or something. And even in that point, it will be hard for us to contact each other. It seems like you've forgotten what I've done recently. What do you... She didn't remember. But how are we going to do this? Simple. I can mark you one of my seals. Mark me, she said. Yes. You can send Chakra to it whenever you want me to come. And I'll be there. And in case you're in any trouble at all, I'll be there to help as well. You know I'm not weak, right? Oh, I didn't say that one bit. I know that you're strong. You were the strongest Kunoichi in this exam. And other from me, you were the strongest person, he said. Huh. You love to boast, don't you? But come on, Naruto said. It was then his hand trailed down. As she jolted a bit. I told you, let me rest, she said. You know you love to be dominated, he said to her. As his hand started to move in a circular position. As she started to moan. And purr as well. You see what I mean, Naruto said. Love to be dominated. Come on, she said, not now. As she rested her head back on his chest. Damn it, she said as she quickly got out of bed. As her legs quivered for a bit. As she couldn't help it. What's wrong, he asked. The Raikage must be looking for me along with my team. I never told any of them where I was going. Being in a foreign country and all. And given my status, it would be weird if I just disappear. Can I use your shower? Sure, Naruto said. As she quickly went towards the shower. As she had to rinse herself off. Well, they just went through heavy sessions of pounding. She had to get clean. Good thing that you listened to me, huh? Said Inibe. I guess you are right. As she had a spare set of clothes sealed away in a seal on her wrist. Just in case for anything. As Inibe told her that she must bring it. And new underwear and everything. As Naruto just lay there. He had a sheet over him but he was completely naked. As he had a smile on his face. As he almost forgot how wonderful sex was. As he couldn't wait and see what the future had in store for him. But he knew there are many more of these experiences to come. But guys, it'll be in this episode right here. Remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. And also go ahead and check out the new series, What If Naruto is an OP Seal Master, and enjoy that, guys. And he also posts a new episode of What If Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.